Welcome back to Explaining Everything, the channel where we dive into the stories and mysteries behind everyday things. Today's question comes from one of our curious viewers, Galactic Goose 42. Thanks for the suggestion, Goose. You asked, why isn't Pluto a planet anymore? If you grew up memorizing the 9 planets, you probably remember Pluto sitting proudly at the end of the lineup. Small, distant, and a little mysterious. But then one day, scientists decided, nope, not a planet. And suddenly, your old school posters were lying to you. So, what happened? Why did Pluto get kicked out of the solar system's exclusive club? Today, we're exploring the cosmic drama, the science, and the heartbreak behind Pluto's planetary demotion. Right here on Explaining Everything. Our story begins in 1930 with Clyde Tombaugh, a young astronomer working at the Lowell Observatory in Arizona. Tombaugh was on a mission to find what people back then called Planet X, a mysterious planet thought to be messing with Neptune's orbit. Using photographs of the night sky, he noticed a tiny speck that moved slightly between frames. And just like that, boom! Pluto was discovered. Everyone was thrilled. Finally, the solar system had a 9th planet. Newspapers exploded with headlines. Kids memorized, "My very educated mother just served us 9 pizzas." Textbooks were rewritten, and Clyde became a space celebrity. But even early on, something seemed off. Pluto was tiny, smaller than Earth's moon. Not only that, but its orbit was weird. Instead of following the nice circular path like the other planets, Pluto's orbit looked like it had too much coffee, tilted, stretched out, and crossing paths with Neptune. But for decades, nobody minded. Pluto was the lovable underdog, the solar system's scrappy little ice ball. Who could hate that? Fast forward to the 1990s. Scientists were getting better telescopes and sharper images of the outer solar system. And guess what? They started finding other small icy worlds beyond Neptune, in a region called the Kuiper Belt. Suddenly, Pluto wasn't so special anymore. It was like discovering your one-of-a-kind pet cat has an entire litter of identical siblings living next door. Objects like Eris, Haumea, and Makemake were discovered, all icy, all orbiting the Sun, and all roughly the same size as Pluto. In fact, Eris was slightly larger, which caused a cosmic identity crisis. Scientists were faced with a problem. Either we start calling every little icy rock a planet and end up with hundreds of them, or we come up with a stricter definition of what a planet actually is. Because you can't just let any icy pebble join the planet club. There has to be a cover charge. So, in 2006, the International Astronomical Union, IAU, held a meeting in Prague. After much arguing, hand-raising, and possibly a few passive-aggressive PowerPoints, they decided to officially define what makes a planet a planet. According to them, an object must meet 3 rules. First, it must orbit the Sun. Second, it must be big enough for gravity to make it round. And third, it must have cleared its orbit, meaning it has to be the dominant gravitational boss of its neighborhood, pushing away other debris. Pluto passed the first 2 tests but failed the third. Its orbit is full of other objects from the Kuiper Belt. Basically, Pluto didn't clear its room, and the IAU acted like strict parents. So they introduced a new label, Dwarf Planet, It sounded polite, like a participation trophy. But let's be honest, Pluto got demoted. Overnight, our 9-planet solar system shrank to 8, and millions of people were devastated. Kids protested. Angry letters were sent to NASA. Someone even started selling "Honk if Pluto is still a planet" bumper stickers. The emotional damage was real. Meanwhile, Pluto probably didn't care. It kept orbiting the Sun every 248 years, minding its own icy business. So, what's Pluto up to now? Well, despite the loss of its planet title, Pluto has become more fascinating than ever. In 2015, NASA's New Horizons spacecraft flew by and sent back jaw-dropping photos, revealing icy mountains, nitrogen glaciers, and a giant heart-shaped region that looked like it was saying, "I forgive you." Scientists discovered Pluto isn't just a boring ice ball. It has an atmosphere that freezes and thaws, weird blue hazes, and possibly a subsurface ocean. It's like the solar system's small-town rebel who turned out to have a deep inner life, and the debate isn't over. Many astronomers and passionate fans still argue that Pluto should be a planet. Some say the cleared orbit rule is unfair, since even Earth shares its neighborhood with asteroids. Others claim the IAU's definition is outdated, like using dial-up internet in 2025. There have even been attempts to reinstate Pluto's planet status. NASA scientists like Alan Stern, who led the New Horizons mission, are among its biggest defenders. He once said, "If Pluto isn't a planet, then neither is Earth." Shots fired. So yeah, Pluto might have lost the title, but it gained something else: the entire internet's sympathy and eternal memes. It went from being a planet to being a legend. So, why is Pluto no longer a planet? Because in 2006, scientists decided planets have to be big, round, orbit the Sun, and clear their neighborhood. And Pluto just didn't make the cut. But that doesn't mean it's any less amazing. It's still orbiting proudly, rocking its heart-shaped surface, and reminding us that even the smallest worlds can capture our imagination. Pluto may be a dwarf planet, but it's got the biggest fan club in the galaxy. So next time you look up at the night sky, think of Pluto, the little planet that refused to fade away. If you enjoyed this video, or if you are now a die-hard Pluto fan, leave a like and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other bingeable channels. Thank you for tuning in, and join us next time here in the channel that answers all the why, what, who, where, and how questions you've always wondered about, here on Explaining Everything.